again, everyone, and welcome to Bellingham for this Elite Eight matchup between the Bellingham High Blackhawks and the Wildcats of Weston. This is Pete Royce, and full disclosure, I'm working on a nice head cold, so pardon me if I'm not quite at the level of a quality broadcast that I like to deliver to you fans, but please bear with me tonight. Also, I might be a little more concise in the use of my words. So here we go, Bellingham against Weston, the number 1 seed, the Hawks, against the number 9 seed, Wildcats. And Bellingham has everybody in good shape. We talked to Coach Steve Montagani. You might have caught that interview. He said everybody is healthy and ready to go. As for Weston, they come on the road here today as the number 9 seed. And they're 9 wins and 9 losses. They play in the Dual County League. And that's a strong league. It has teams like Lincoln Sudbury High School, Newton South, Boston Latin, and so on and so forth. I talked to Coach Eileen LeBlanc before the game, and I asked her about her big wins. She said, against those teams just mentioned and others, we've had some success, and they've had success, and hence the 9-9 record. And oddly enough, they're the number 9 seed. But what a history at Weston Wildcat Volleyball. In 2023, they won the state title, and they defeated Medfield. In 2024, they were in the finals, and they lost to Medfield. So 2 consecutive trips to the finals, just like Bellingham has had 2 consecutive trips to the finals, I believe, though, in Division 4. And so here there's a announcement about the rules of etiquette for this volleyball game. A good crowd is on hand here at the Bellingham High Gym. The student section is here. A lot of fans on the far side of the field. And we're going to introduce the starting lineups. Ainsley Fatchner, she's a junior. Other starter, Riley Hummel, she's a junior. Ellie Wilkins, a junior. Kearney Dickey, a junior. Flo Bangali, a senior. Another one is Trini Salgado Mayorga. She's a freshman. And finally, they have in there number 30, Nevaeh Yancey, and she is a senior. It's kind of a mixed group of seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. And I asked Coach about that. She said this is the first time in her 5 years they've had such a spread, almost equally, about seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. You know, we mentioned their big run in 2023 and 2024. They were led by an outstanding player named Fielding Mayhew, and she led them to that championship in 23 and to the finals in 2024. She's now playing Division I volleyball at Providence College. And so she says, did Coach LeBlanc tell me before the game, they don't have any one star like that this year, but they're well-rounded, and so everyone has to kind of come in and do their little job and do their part of it. And she kind of likes the team this year, so they're pretty strong in that no outstanding talent, but a lot of talent spread around, and they also are a team that Coach told me before the game they have some good players on the outside. The outside hitters are very strong. In particular, Coach Montagani singled out Ellie Wilkins, the junior, as one of the key players to watch, as well as Nevaeh Yancey, the senior. So we'll keep an eye on that. I also asked Coach Montagani about them. He said, look, if a team has had a state championship and a runner-up in the last 2 years, they have a rich tradition, and we're not going to take anybody lightly here today. So the entire roster has been introduced, and the fans here will be standing in a moment as we're going to have the playing of our national anthem. And here we go. From the Bellingham High Gym in Bellingham High, Mass., we have the playing of our national anthem. There you have it, the playing of our national anthem before a nice crowd on hand at the Bellingham High Gym. As the officials for today's game, the R1 up on the ladder will be Glenn Corwin. The R2 along the net is Brian Allen. And the 2 lines judges are Lisa Cyr, spelled C-Y-R, and John Petritis, both the line judges for this game. So a nice shake of the hands by all players on both teams along the net. And we're ready to launch this Elite Eight, and the winner will go to the Final Four. And that is already be determined as who the winner of this game will play. It's Linfield High School, the number 4 seed. They defeated number 5, Old Rochester, to get to the Final Four. Final instructions. Coach Steve Montagani has his troops on the right side of the court, and Eileen LeBlanc has her troops on the left side. Actually, they're not with her. They're out there by themselves, and actually Coach Montagani was not in the huddle as well. That's a players-only meeting as we get ready to start this particular matchup, the Elite Eight. So glad you're with us, fans, on ABMI and on the National Federation High School Network. The libero for Weston is Ainsley Fatchner, and she'll come in. And let's see who's going to get the serve. I didn't see who won the toss of the coin to determine that. And it's going to be Sophia Soto coming in, taking position behind the line. Looks like the Hawks will serve first to open up this game. Bellingham in the black and Weston in the brown and white. The uniforms are not that contrasted. The first delivery is true. And it's down deep, and Weston will have to get it over. They do. Soto with the dig. And that's Aubrey Calorie, and that's out in 1 point for Weston. And serving for the Wildcats will be Ellie Wilkins. She's the one of the 2 that Coach Montagani pointed out is a strong player for Weston. She's serving 1-0 Weston. Milani digs it. Nolan, she slams it, and that's going to go into the stands. About 6 rows up, we're tied at 1. First tie of the game, of course. And serving for the Hawks will be Maddie D'Oliveira. She started along with Aubrey Calorie, Sophia Soto, Mia Milani, Jacoby Houston, and Val Nolan. Nice block at the line by Aubrey Calorie. This is Nolan. She drives it back, a dig there. And Weston will go over. Set up here. Slam down at the net. A nice block at the net for Weston. And a slam there. Milani digs it. Nolan, she slams it. Returned. Good play there along the net by Calorie and Nolan. And that is in. A beautiful slam by Weston. And they lead it 2-1. Jacoby Houston will come in and Maddie D'Oliveira will come out. And coming in for the Wildcats is going to be Kearney Dickey. And going out is Trini Salgado Mayorga. There's the serve. A nice slam there by Aubrey Calorie, and we're tied at 2. Second tie of the game. There have been no lead change. However, if Valerie Nolan gets a point here, this will be the first lead change of the early action. Crowd still coming in here at Bellingham. This is Val Nolan. And that's a point. It's kind of in no man's land. And it's 3-2. So Weston has had leads of 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2. Ties were at 1 and 2. Now serving will be Trini Salgado Mayorga. 3-2 Weston. A left-hander. Soto with the dig. This is Milani. She slams it down. That's into the stand. Second one out into the stands. We're tied for the third time at 3. 3-3. And now coming in for the Hawks is going to be Kaylee Simpson. And going out is Sophia Soto. Nolan serving again for the first lead pop, perhaps, of the game for the Hawks. Nice play by Calorie. This is Milani. She drills it. That's a point for the Hawks. There's the first lead for Bellingham. First lead change. There have been 3 ties. Aubrey Calorie will serve for the Bellingham High Blackhawks. The number 1 seed in the state. We're in Division 3. This is the Elite 8, or the quarterfinals, if you will. Blocked at the line, and that's another tie. 4th tie. We've been tied at every number. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Sophia Soto comes back in for the Hawks. Simpson is still in there for Bellingham. There's a nice serve. On her knees goes Soto for the dig. Nolan down deep, and that's a point for the Hawks. 5-4. And Maddie DeOliveira comes in, and going out is Jacoby Houston for Coach Steve Montagani. Alyssa Rancourt serving for Bellingham. And that is out. We're tied for the 5th time. We've been tied at every number. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rancourt. Milani. And that's a point. And there's a lead change. It's 6-5 Weston. 5 ties, 2 lead changes. Serving for the Wildcats is Kearney Dickey. She's one of the taller players out there. By the way, the coach of the Wildcats, Eileen LeBlanc, you may see her from time to time in your picture. She's very tall, and she played her college volleyball at the University of Rochester. Simpson slams one for a tie. 6th tie. We've been tied at every number. Nobody has had a 2-point lead. 6-6. This is Mia Milani with the serve. Deep, but it's played. Oh, that might have gone out. It's way up in the rafters. A nice play by Rancourt. The Hawks got to get it over. They do not. 7-6, Weston. No team has had a 2-point lead in this game yet. Now serving will be Riley Hummel. Hummel, a junior. Rancourt for Nolan, and that's deep, too far. And there's your first 2-point lead of the game. And Weston has it 8-6. Continuing to serve is Riley Hummel. Hummel is a junior. DeOliveira. Nice dive by Milani to keep it in play. That's going to clear. And that is in. A 3-point lead for the Wildcats. 9-6. Beautiful slam and a kill along the left sideline. Glenn Corwin, the R1, had a good look at it from the ladder. Soto, Rancourt, Simpson with the little drop shot. The lefty delivers it to the Hawks zone. This is Nolan, and she's going to be hit high off the ceiling, and that's into the net. So it's a 2-point game, 9-7. Weston still leads. Serving for the Hawks as Calorie comes in will be Sophia Soto, and going out is Kaylee Simpson. And that's into the. It's a 1-point game again, 9-8. Weston with the lead. The biggest run of the game was 3 by Weston. Here's Soto's serve. And that's not going to be returned, and it's tied up again. We're tied at 9. The 7th tie of this game. That's how close this has been. Soto continuing to serve for Bellingham. We're on ABMI, we're on the National Federation High School Network today. That is long gone. The Hawks have a lead, 3rd lead change. 10-9. Sophia Soto serving. Drops it to that back line. Wow. off the rafter. Nolan drops it back there. The rafters, the padding up there, that's all in play. Aubrey Callery with a beautiful block at the net. That was outstanding. 5 points in a row run by the Hawks. They go from down 3 to up 2. This is Soto serving. Little drop shot, but Alyssa Rancourt is right on it for Soto. For Nolan, it's blocked at the line. And it's a 1-point game. Hawks lead it 11-10. Weston very good along the net. And not a lot of size, but they are really strong. And serving again will be Ellie Wilkins, the junior. 11-10, Weston with the lead and the serve. Rancourt for Nolan. She drops one in there. It's returned. And that's into the net. And the Hawks have it by 2 again. 12-10. The winner will play Linfield in the Final Four. And both teams have been there in the last 2 years. Bellingham in Division 4 and Weston in Division 3. But this year, Bellingham has stepped up to Division 3. Malani makes an outstanding play, the play of the game, and she gets the point. That drew raves from the crowd here today. Mia Malani, she not only can slam, she can dig like that. Student body really up for that play by Mia Malani, the outstanding junior. This is Maddie D'Oliveira serving. And just clears the net. Goes over from the back line. Rancourt for Callery, and she fans on it. And it's 13-11 Bellingham. Jacoby Houston comes in and Maddie D'Oliveira goes out. And now serving will be the libero for the Wildcats, Ainsley Fatchner Jr. 13-11 Bellingham. Here's Fatchner. Just clears the net. That was almost our first poor serve of the night, but it goes for a point. Fatchner goes deep, returned. Houston. D'Oliveira slams it. Little drop shot off the floor, and we're in play. What a play. The Hawks took it off the floor. And there's a point, and we have a tie again at 13. The 8th tie of this game. Fatchner serving. Soto for Rancourt. And a nice slam there by Nolan, but it's returned. Slammed the other way. The Hawks had it at the net. This is Nolan. She drops when it's tipped at the net. And a violation. 2 hits was the call, and the Hawks lead it by 1, 14-13. What a match. Valerie Nolan serving. 14-13 Bellingham. Nolan. We've not had a bad serve tonight. And that's a spike by Callery. 15-13. One thing Coach told us, Coach Eileen LeBlanc, she didn't think she had a team that could be as strong hitters in their opponents as they face in the Hawks here tonight. So that'll be a challenge for us to match up with the power hitting of Bellingham. You just saw that right there. Nolan. Drills it. Oh, that's a nice slam by Malani. Once you hit it over from the back net, from the back line, it causes trouble, and Malani took advantage of it. She is such a heads-up player. And Coach Eileen LeBlanc gets a timeout. We'll have a chance to take a look at the bracket here in this Division 3 matchup. The number 1 seed Bellingham, number 2 Medfield. Bellingham defeated them twice. We'll see if they meet up. They would meet up only in the finals because they're in different sides of the bracket. The 4th seed is Linfield. The 3rd seed is Joseph Case. And so that could be a Medfield-Joseph Case matchup in the round of Final Four. And it could be a Bellingham, it will be a Bellingham or a Weston matchup in the Final Four against Linfield. So that is your bracket. There were a whole bunch of teams in this division. I count at least 38 of them. It looks like that was the final number. 38 teams in Division III in girls volleyball across the state of Massachusetts. You remember, fans, it's all one big tournament. There's no more regional sectionals. One from the western Massachusetts area could play a team from Nantucket. And that's just the way this is set up. One big tournament. And here's Val Nolan serving. The Hawks by 3. She drills it. Nice play by Calorie. She's been outstanding here today. Now for Milani. She slams it. It's blocked at the net. That's what Weston has been doing. And that's a point for Weston. And it's a 2-point game, 16-14. Breaks a mini run of 3 for Bellingham. And serving for the Wildcats will be Trini Salgado Mayorga, a freshman. 16-14, Bellingham. Soto goes low for it. This is Milani, hesitation move, and she drops it. It was tipped. And that is out. The Hawks by 3, 17-14. We're in the first set. Best of 5. The first 4, if they need that many, go to 25. The last set goes to 15. This is Aubrey Calorie with the serve. Drops it there. And that is going to be a point. It was tipped at the line by Bellingham. 17-15. Serving now will be Nevaeh Yancey, a senior. Nolan goes down low. Nice save by Houston. And that never made it. The Hawks have it. Great play. Bellingham just stayed away. They lead it by 3. Maddie DeOliveira comes in, and going out for Coach Steve Montagani is Jacoby Houston. Now serving is Alyssa Rancourt. 18-15, Bellingham with the lead and the serve. Every serve by the Hawks has been true so far tonight. Rancourt. Sophia Soto. Oliveira, it's a point for Weston. Under the net there, 18-16. 8 lead changes, 8 ties, 3 lead changes so far today. This is Kearney Dickey, a junior serving for Weston. Left-hander goes low. Rancourt for Houston. I'm sorry, that was not Houston. That was Simpson. And it's a 1-point game. Point to the Weston Wildcats, 18-17. Continuing to serve is Kearney Dickey, a junior. The left-hander, Soto. And that is a point. We have a tie game. 18-18. The 9th tie of the game. Tied at 18. Remember, if it's 24 all, we have to win. A team has to win by 2. Rancourt. Milani, that's blocked, and a point for Weston. In a lead change, they have it 19-18. They're doing an outstanding job. Just what Coach said, we have to match up with their power, and they're doing that so far today. Dickey with the serve. Soto digs for it. Milani just drops it nonchalantly. Had to. And it's blocked there at the net by Milani. And that's in. It's a 2-point lead. 20-18. And Coach Steve Montagani wants to and does take a timeout. 20-18. Weston with the lead, and Weston serving here. They trailed it by 3, 18-15. And since then, they've run off 5 straight. That's their biggest run of 5. Bellingham had a 5-point run, down 9-6 to go up 11-9. But since then, it was nip and tuck. Bellingham had leads of 16-13, 17-14, 18-15. Now 5 straight run by the Weston Wildcats. They have it by 2, 20-18, here in the first set. The winner again will move on to the Final Four against Linfield, who has already secured a slot in that position as the number 4 seed. They've won all the way. So that game, by the way, will be on a neutral court. Bellingham with the number 1 seed had all these home games, but not after today. If they win, it's a neutral court for the semifinals and the finals. Continuing to serve is Kearney Dickey, the junior. We've still not had a bad serve tonight. Simpson drops it over. Soto for Rancourt, for Milani. She slams it back. That's a nice block by Milani at the net. Here's Mia back. She slams it right in the face of a player. Oh my goodness. That just moved back. Trini Salgado Mallorca. It just overpowered her right in the face. And she's going to be looked at here. Now, let me see. That was not Trini. Yes, it was. She's going to come out. Took it right in the face. She's going to come out. Coach LeBlanc, arm around her. The Hawks, what a blast there. There was no contesting that blast by Mia Milani, and she's going to serve to try to force the 10th tie of the game. Coach LeBlanc wants a word with the official. Some confusion with the Weston lineup. Brian Allen, the R2 on the net, clarifying it. And here's Milani trying to forge the 10th tie of the game. She drills it, and we have the 10th tie. We're tied at 20. 10 ties in this game, 4 lead changes. We're tied at 20. The number 9 seed Weston, the number 1 seed Bellingham Wildcats. The serve is true again. Milani with the nice dig. Set up here for Nolan. She drops it in. The Hawks have it by 1. 5th lead change. 10 ties, 5 lead changes. What a match. Mia Milani continuing to serve. 21-20 Hawks. First set. Bellingham student body standing. Deep serve. Milani for Rancourt. Drop shot by Simpson. Simpson only a sophomore, and that's going to be a tie. We're tied at 21. Point for Weston, the 11th tie of the game. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there's the tie. I'm not sure what happened there. We're tied at 21 right now. I'm not sure what happened there, but they played on, I guess. I'm not sure what the problem was, but I thought that Weston had the point. Now they do. There's the 11th tie of the game. And serving for the Wildcats is going to be Riley Hummel, the junior. Good crowd on hand here in Bellingham tonight. That clears the net. Soto with the dive for the dig. Oliveira gets the point. The Hawks by 1. 22-21. What a set in this particular round here. The first set, 22-21. Sophia Soto serving for Bellingham. Her serve is true. And that's a point. The Hawks by 2. 23-21. So after giving up 5 in a row, the Hawks have scored 5 of the last 6 points of this game. And it's good to see Trini Salgado Mallorca back in the game. She took that spike right to the face. He's talking to a teammate, says, I'm okay. That was Flo Bengali. Here's the serve. It's true again. Tipped at the net by Callery. This is Audrey. Drops it back. Ball's going back, and that's going to be in play for Weston. What a play by the Wildcats. This is Nolan, and she drops it home. The Hawks are at set point. 24-21. And a timeout call by Coach Eileen LeBlanc. How this game has changed. A moment ago, Weston ran off 5 straight to go from 18 to 15 down to up 20 to 18. Then Bellingham had 3 in a row to go up 21-20, tied at 21, and Bellingham has scored the last 3 points. They lead at 24-21. We're at set point. This is the first set of 5, best of 5, I should say. And again, 25 is the point total you need for games sets 1 through 4. The last set is to 15. 24-21. Tremendous matchup here. These teams look very even. It doesn't look like 9 versus 1. This looks like 1 versus 2. Weston can afford no errors at this point. Sophia Soto will try to bring the first set to the Bellingham side of the ledger. And here we go. Whistle blows, and here's Soto's delivery. That's true. Callery drops it back there. Heads up play by Aubrey. And a nice return there by Soto. This is De Oliveira, drop shot. It's going back, and that's the game. The Hawks win it on the drop shot. I believe that was Maddie De Oliveira. Might have been Alyssa Rancourt. The first game goes to Bellingham, 25-21. Wow. 11 ties and 5 lead changes in that first matchup. We'll see what happens in game set 2 or game 2. It will be Weston serving to open up this game. Kind of to look at the flow of the first game, it was tied at every number through the first 5. And then Weston took a lead. It was tied at every number through 6-6. So every number from 1 through 6 was a tie. Then Weston went ahead 9-6. Then Bellingham went ahead 11-9 with 5 in a row. Then back and forth it went. Bellingham had a 16-13 lead, then back and forth. Then Bellingham led 18-15, and Weston ran 5 straight to go up 20-18. And then Bellingham scored 7 out of the last 8 points to win it, 25-21. Well, there's your matchup, Bellingham against Weston. The Hawks 18-2 on the season. They, in their early rounds, they defeated Scituate here at the Hawks Nest 3-0, and also Notre Dame Academy of Worcester 3-0. So they've yet to lose a game in the tournament. And Weston has also moved forward in their bracket, and Weston has defeated North Reading, and let's see, I believe Cardinal Spellman. So, Weston defeated either Cardinal Spellman or Pope Francis to play North Reading, and then defeated them. And here they are in the final. Lead 8 is what we call this one. The quarterfinals, if you will. Jim with a good audience, as you may see on the far side when our cameras scan over there. The Hawks will now move to the court side to the left as you look out on the beautiful black and white Bellingham High Court with the big Blackhawk logo in center court, and the Wildcats will move over to the right. It's one of those sports rare where the benches actually move, and so they face the side that their players are on. So, for example, Bellingham has the left side of the court, the Bellingham bench on the left side of the court. And the same is true on the right side for the Weston Wildcats. Well, there's our technical feature of the day, and we're all set to go here. The coordinating producer of Blackhawks Volleyball is Tyler James. The officials again for today's game, up on the ladder, the R1 as they call him, is Glenn Corwin. The R2 along the net is Brian Allen. He's been involved in this game. And the line judges are John Petritis and Lisa Sear. It'll be the Wildcats serving here to open up set number 2. Hawks took it 25-21. Simpson comes out. I believe Soto is in. Simpson had some good minutes. And coming in for Weston is going to be Fatchner. And it'll be Ainsley Fatchner who'll be serving up to start the second set. Nope, she's going to defer to Riley Hummel. This is Hummel. We're underway. Nice drop shot by Rancourt on the third hit. The Hawks, who did not get the first point of the game in set one, gets the first point here in set number 2. Let's go Blackhawks, the chant from the Hawks Nest, the student body of Bellingham. Here's Valerie Nolan serving. And that's too low. The Hawks have it 2-0. Quick start here for Bellingham. First game, 11 ties and 5 lead changes. Here's Val Nolan, bound next year for Virginia Wesleyan University. And the Wildcats got to get it over. They do. Soto with the dig. This is Milani. She slams it, and that's a point. The Hawks are off and running here in set number 3. 3-0. Nolan continuing to serve. Here's Nolan. It's true. Goes over from the back line, and it's not returned cleanly. The Hawks have it 4-0. A couple of times, I believe, in the first game, Weston sent it over from the back line, and they paid the price. And now a timeout called by Coach Eileen LeBlanc. Eileen LeBlanc went to high school in Rochester and played volleyball at the University of Rochester. And she's had great success at Weston. This is her 5th year. On the other side, Steve Montegani. What can you say about him? I said, Coach, do you live here at the gym? Because every time I come, he's been here for a while. He said, well, it seems that way. He said, I only live close to here, so, you know, let's put it this way. He enjoys being the coach, and what a job he's done here in Bellingham. The Hawks, 2 straight championship games. They didn't make it to the winner's circle in either, but here they are back in the Elite 8 round. And Val Nolan will be serving. 4-0 Bellingham. Student body standing as they do. They only sit down during timeouts. Good serve. Tip there. Soto with the dig. Houston for Calorie, and that's too far. And there's the first point of the game for Weston. They trail it 4-1. A run of 4 to open up the game for Bellingham. And now serving will be Ellie Wilkins. Wilkins, the junior. Wilkins for Soto. It's going to be in front, and Houston didn't quite know what to do with it. 2-point game, 4-2. Fell in front of her and fell in front of the net, side of no man's land, and Wilkins will serve up another one. 4-2, Bellingham with the lead. They won the first set, 25-21. Soto on the floor for the dig. Milani slams it there. It's returned beautifully, dug out. Little drop shot, tip at the net by Rancourt and Calorie. And that's hit deep by Houston from the back line. A spike there is out of bounds, and the Hawks have the point, 5-2. 5-2. And serving for Bellingham will be their libero, Sophia Soto. Soto serving, 5-2. Here's Sophia, the junior captain. A nice delivery there. And that's into the net, 4 hits. Bellingham with another 4-point lead. Their second. They had it 4-0, now 6-2. Sophia Soto will deliver it. Just over the net and out. A first bad serve for either team, I believe, here tonight. I say tonight, technically it was an afternoon game, but looking outside through the windows, it looks like it's getting dark, so pardon me if I called it a night game. Nolan for Soto from Milani. What a drill by Mia Milani. She crushed it. 7-3, Bellingham. Sub coming in, Maddie De Oliveira for Jacoby Houston. And serving will be sophomore Alyssa Rancourt. Her game has been tremendous this season as a sophomore. Milani feeds Rancourt, back to Mia, drops it over, and she hit the net. She touched the net, did Mia Milani. That's not allowed, it's 7-4. Bellingham still with the lead, and Trini Salgado Mayorga will be serving for the Weston Wildcats out of the Dual County League. The left-hander drilled in, caught there by Nolan. Maddie D'Oliveira powers up. I spoke to Maddie after one of the matches. I said, Maddie, I don't know, you're not that big. How do you get such height? I said, can you dunk a basketball? And she said, I don't know, I've never tried. I think she might. Here's Mia Milani to the back line. A lot of spin on the ball. It's delivered over, and that's in no man's land, in between the two lines. Milani dove for it, but couldn't reach it. 8-5 Bellingham. And serving here will be Nevaeh Yancey. She's a senior. Nevaeh Yancey steps up and taps it. Soto, Rancourt, Simpson, Soto. Nolan retrieved, and that's into the net. It's kind of no man's land when you put it on your own side of the net, right in front of the net. Players cannot get a good angle on it. And Aubrey Callery comes in, and Sophia Soto goes out for coach Steve Montagani. Here's Kaylee Simpson serving. Simpson, only a sophomore as well. Simpson with the dig. For Rancourt, for Nolan, she drops it in there, and that's a point for the Hawks. They lead it 10-5. Unlike the first game when there were 11 ties and 5 lead changes, we've had 0 ties and 0 lead changes so far. Plenty of time left. 10-5 is your score, not even midway through. This is Kaylee Simpson, the sophomore. Might have skimmed the net. Nice block there. It's a point for the Hawks. 4 hits is what the call is. Hawks lead it 11-5. The Hawks did not have a 6-point lead in the first game. Nice dig by Nolan. Back to Val. She drops it back there. Returned from the back line and slammed into the net by Nolan. She fanned on it. Point for Weston, 11-6. Simpson will come out and Rancourt back in. Serving for Weston is Kearney Dickey. And she's into net. That's the first serve into the net tonight, I do believe. 12-6 Bellingham. A little more breathing room in this one from the tremendous game. 25-21, the first set. Here's Maddie D'Oliveira, the junior. Maddie D.O. High towards the net, and that's touched and dropped in. The point by Nolan. It just hung along the net. You can't touch the net and you can't put your hand over the net. You have to walk a thin line there, and Nolan did it to perfection. Here's D'Oliveira, 13-6 Bellingham. Draws deep, and that's going to be out. A bad serve there for the Hawks. Not many tonight, but that was a rarity. It is 13-7. Serving for the Wildcats is Riley Hummel. Hummel steps up, just skins the net and gets it over. Houston for Rancourt. Soto with a great dig. This is Valerie Nolan, slams it home. Another point for the Hawks. They lead it by 7, 14-7. They've doubled up on the Wildcats here in set number 2. Eileen LeBlanc looking on. Right up near the court. She'll back away. Nolan serves to that back line. And this was going backwards. They have to take it over from the back line. They do to Soto. Jacoby Houston for Aubrey Callery. What a setup. Once again, when it comes over from the back line, it puts your team in jeopardy. And Jacoby Houston to Aubrey Callery. A perfect combo there. And Callery buried it. 15-7, Hawks. Nolan. And Rancourt tips it over. Soto, and that hits the top and falls down. That's a point for Weston. 15-8 is your score. The rafters are in play, but if it comes down, it can sometimes hit fast and come down fast. And that's what happened. Ellie Wilkins will deliver it. Soto with the dig. Back for Milani. Right down the sideline. She picked her spot beautifully. What a play. That's a finesse shot by Mia Milani. You have to admire her sense of where she is on the court and where the open spaces are. Here's Soto serving. Hawks up by 8. Doubling up on Weston here in set number 2. And that is out. Hawks by 9, 17-8. The winner plays Linfield in the Final Four. There'll be ceremonies here at Bellingham tonight to award the deliverance into the Final Four for the winning team today. And that is out. 10-point lead for Bellingham, 18-8. And Eileen LeBlanc gets a timeout. She's the Weston coach. And Bellingham, 18-8. This is such a contrast, this set versus set number 1. No ties in this set, no lead changes. In the first set, 11 ties and 5 lead changes. And Bellingham only had a 2-point lead, nothing more than that, until they closed it out with the last 4 to go from 21-all to a 25-21 victory, a 4-point lead. That was their largest lead of the game, and it came on the last play of the game. That's how tight set number 1 was. Well, we move to the next stage here. It's 18-8. The Hawks with the lead and serving. They've run off 3 straight. And it'll be Sophia Soto, the fine libero, the junior, the captain. See if Weston can regroup after the timeout called by their coach, Eileen LeBlanc. Soto with the delivery to the back line. Not returned. The Hawks by 11, 19-8. Sophia Soto. The matchup of where the semifinals will take place against Linfield has not been posted yet. And that's into the net, and the Hawks now have it 20-8. Weston not sharp in this game. They were tremendous in game number 1. Sophia Soto, the Hawks within 5 of capturing this set, 20-8. Here's Soto. Towards the net. And what a one-handed play by Soto. The play of the game defensively. Milani drills one back. That was tremendous by Soto. And that's into the net, and it's a point for Weston. 20-9 is your score. Hard-earned point for the Wildcats. So they're down 11. Serving will be their libero, Ainsley Fatchner. Last name F-A-C-H-N-E-R. She's a junior with the white shirt for Weston. 20-9 is your score. Here's Fatchner. Knuckleball, no spin on the ball at all. And that drops in between 2. 2 players looked at each other and it fell in harmlessly. 21-9, the Hawks by 12. Alyssa Rancourt will be serving. De Oliveira comes in for Jacoby Houston. Here's Alyssa. It's deep, and that is out. Another miss for the Hawks on the serve, 21-10. Serving will be Trini Salgado Mallorca. Trini is a freshman. Southpaw. Soto, Rancourt, and that's mishandled there. And it's a 2 straight points run by Weston, 21-11. And Salgado Mallorca will continue to serve the southpaw. The freshman, Nolan goes down on a knee for it. This is De Oliveira, the drop shot. And that's over, and another point. 3 straight for the Wildcats. From 21-9, it's 21-12. And continuing to serve will be Salgado Mallorca. Soto, Rancourt, Simpson, little tip shot. And a violation here. 2 hits is the call. Hawks by 10, 22-12. They won the first game 25-21. Mia Milani will get this one started here. She's on the back line serving. Gets the whistle. And here's her delivery. Deep and high is on the return. They got to go back for it right at the net, and that's out of bounds. It was Simpson and De Oliveira teaming up. They couldn't get it. And it's 22-13. 9-point lead for Bellingham. And serving will be Nevaeh Yancey. Yancey's delivery. And that's an ace. Well, not quite an ace, but it's not returnable. 22-14, an 8-point game. Coach Montagani preaches, do not take anything for granted. They had the big 21-12 lead. Now it's 22-14. And again, the same spot. 22-15. Some momentum now being spun Weston's way. They've scored 6 of the last 7 points to close within 7. Same spot again. This time it's going to be De Oliveira with the delivery. And that's into the net, and the Hawks have it. They break the run of 3, 23-15. This is sophomore Kaylee Simpson with the ball from the back line. Simpson delivers it. True. Tipped at the line. Tipped off the ceiling. Now Nolan slams it. It's returned on a great dig by Weston. And it's Aubrey Callery at the line with a great play. The Hawks are at set point. 24-15. Aubrey Callery looking good here tonight with her play along the front line. Here's Simpson to try to end it. High off the rim, down, 1 more to go, and the Hawks win it 25-15. They take 2 straight, the first 2 sets. 25-21, and this one 25-15. So they lead it 2-0. Set number 3 is coming up. 25-15. So a little more spread there for the Hawks than the first game where they won by 4. Here they win by 10. No lead changes and no ties in that game, compared to the first set where there were 11 ties and 5 lead changes. We're so glad you're with us, fans, here on ABMI, your home for Blackhawk sports, and on the National Federation High School Network. We're coast to coast tonight from Maine to Maui on the National Federation High School Network. If you join me late, I'm battling a head cold here today, so pardon me with the voice quality. It's not as great as I would like it to be. So there's a 3-minute break in between sets. And teams will shift sides again, and now Bellingham will be on the right side of the court as you look out on the big Blackhawk logo, and Weston will be on the left side of the court. I was talking to the assistant coach coming in when she was walking in, Rebecca Walls, and her first comment to me was, wow, a black court. She had never seen it. That's the second comment that I've heard this year about Bellingham's black court. You know, it reminds me of Boise State football where they play on a blue rug, and some feel it's a great advantage. This could be an advantage for Bellingham. No team, I think, has this, a black court. That's what we have. The court was redone, if I believe I'm correct, about 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe a little bit longer. This new court. Beautiful white hardwood leading up to the black part of the court. And we call it the Hawks' Nest. Bellingham Blackhawk right in the middle of the court. Well, we're in the round of 8. This is the quarterfinals of the tournament. The winner will go on to the semifinals, or the Final Four, if you will, and one team is already there. Linfield High School. They're the 4th seed, and they have secured the first Final Four slot. The winner here will get the next spot. And then on the other side of the ledger, it looks like it could come down between Medfield and Joseph Case. Medfield here, they're very familiar to Bellingham. They play in the Tri-County League, as do the Hawks. And Joseph Case is the name of the school in Swansea, Mass., which is east of Providence, Rhode Island, in the Seekonk area. And so that's a team that's been traditionally very strong, Joseph Case. And they are the number 3 seed in the tournament. So it could be the four seeds could all make it. We'll see. Bellingham has to win one more set tonight. They've taken the first one 25-21, then 25-15, and it'll be Bellingham serving to open up set number 3. Bellingham got off to a great start in that set, scoring the first 4. In fact, 6 out of the first 8. Take it 4-0 and 6-2 leads. So the fans back in their seats. Coach Eileen LeBlanc, a drink of water, and the referees have the scoring sheet over to the scoring table. Brian Allen gets the ball and rolls it to Sophia Soto. And this third set on this early November day is about to get underway with Sophia Soto delivering it. Slam, but Calorie, she's been outstanding at the net. The Hawks have it 1-0. Soto continues to serve. Sophia just skims it over the net, and it's going to be over and out. 2-0 Hawks. Serve was just over the net, but it was hard to return. And Sophia will continue going here. That drilled again, very hard serve. It is it's Nolan with the tip at the net. Malani for Rancourt. This is Nolan. She slams it. That's good. A 3-0 lead. The first game, Bellingham fell behind 2-0. Second game, they led 4-0. Sophia Soto continuing to serve to the back line. Drop shot there, retrieved by Rancourt. Set up here for Nolan into the net, and there's a point for Weston. So they break a 3-0 run to start the game. They trail it 3-1. Pete Royce with you courtside here. Our producer today is Tyler James. Serving is Ellie Wilkins. 3-1, Bellingham with the lead. Wilkins delivers it to Milani. It's going to be tipped, but a great return by Rancourt. For Nolan, tipped at the line. That's going to drop in. The Hawks have it. The Hawks get the point. They lead it 4-1. Maddie DeOliveira now will be serving for Bellingham, going from on the right side of the court. Again, the two uniforms are not that contrasted. Brown and black, some white sleeves for the Weston team. And that's Calorie again with a great play along the net. She's been outstanding. Nolan dropped over for Rancourt. The sophomore Rancourt. Nolan drops it through. Everybody helping on that play. Everybody helping. The team game in evidence here for the Bellingham High Blackhawks. And this is Maddie DeOliveira serving. Bellingham leads it 5-1. DeOliveira, knuckleball. Slam, but Soto with the dig, and DeOliveira let it drop somehow inadvertently. 5-2. I think she thought a teammate was closer to it, and she let it go, and it drops in. Ainsley Fatchner will deliver it for the Hawks, for the Wildcats. Into the net, unforced error there. 6-2 Bellingham. That's exactly where they were in the second game. In the first game, it was 6-6. How about that? Val Nolan will serve it up. 6-2 Bellingham. This is the third set. Bellingham's taken the first two. Nolan with the knuckleball. To the back line it goes. Deep. What a play back there by Nolan, and that's a point. A double hit called on Bellingham. 6-3. Six to 3, and serving will be Trini Salgado Mallorca, the freshman. Left-hander knuckles it over. Houston with the setup for Milani, and that's going to be 4 hits. So too tight for Milani. She couldn't do much with it. 6-4 now. Remember, the first game was tied at 6-6. That was the last tie of that first set, which featured... No, I'm sorry, that is not correct. There were ties at 13. That was the last tie of that first exciting match. Houston for Rancourt, and she launches it too far. It's a 1-point game, 6-5. So the Hawks stumbling after having a 5-1 and 6-2 lead. It's now 6-5. Trini Salgado Mallorca. Remember earlier in the game, she took a blast in the face, but came back playing strong. This is Milani. Off the net for Houston. Back to Milani. Spiked. Soto gets it over. Weston, strong performance at the net in this particular volley. And that's going to be Soto with a tremendous play. And that's a point, and we're tied up. We're tied at 6, just like the first game was tied at 6. First tie of this game, the first tie since set number 1. There were no ties or lead changes in set number 2. 6-6. 4 straight run by the Wildcats. Salgado Mallorca delivers it deep. Milani drops it, and that is in. I think it hit a player inbounds. 7-6 Bellingham, so they break a 4-point run for the Wildcats. The longest run Bellingham has had in this game is 3. They had a 3, a 2, and now looking for a 2 here with Aubrey Calories. Had an outstanding night here for the Hawks. She delivers it. Loops it to the back. Blocked at the line. Houston digs it out. Set up here for Rancourt, and that's blocked at the line, and we're tied at 7. Second tie of the game. Soto comes in, and Calorie goes out for Coach Steve Montagani. This is Nevaeh Yancey, the senior serving. Milani for Houston, for Simpson. What a play by Milani. What a play by Mia Milani. She comes back and gets the point. 8-7 Hawks. What a play by Mia Milani. The dig and then the point to finish it off. Alyssa Rancourt will be serving here, the small sophomore. Such a powerhouse player, however. Rancourt. Whistle here, a violation. I'm not sure. Somebody was out of line, I guess. Unforced error. We're tied again. Third tie. 8-8. And here we go. The southpaw delivering it. Soto, and that's a point. We have another lead change. This is the first lead change. The first lead for Weston tonight. And in this set, they led several times in the first set. Nothing in the second. They have it 9-8. This is Kearney Dickey. Soto for Rancourt. For Milani, it's blocked, and that's out. 2 in a row for Weston. They have it 10-8. In the first set, they led 16-14, 18-16, 20-18, but lost it 21-25. Houston, that's 4 hits. So it's 4 points in a row, and it's 11-8. Weston with the lead. Continuing to serve is Kearney Dickey. Weston by 3. Soto for Rancourt for De Oliveira. She slams it. It's dug out. And that's a beautiful slam there by Ellie Wilkins. She's one of the players that Coach Montagani talked to me before the game about, who's outstanding. And Coach Steve, seeing that, wants to get a timeout. He takes the timeout. Tremendous spike there by Ellie Wilkins. And it's 12-8. Weston with the lead. The Hawks have not lost a game in the playoff run. In the round of 32, they took it 3-0. In the round of Sweet 16, the 32 round was with Scituate, and the Sweet 16 was with Notre Dame Academy of Worcester. And the Hawks swept those two series 3-0, 3-0. Here, they're a bit in danger of possibly losing a set. They're down 12-8. Midway through this particular matchup. And if you're thinking about what is it like to come back from 2-0 down, the Hawks did it. Bellingham did it against Medfield earlier this season at Medfield. They fell behind 2-0 and won the last 3 sets. Talking to the Medfield coach about it, he said, we just took it for granted, I guess. He said he was really stunned by it. So it can happen. And here it is. Serving now will be Kearney Dickey. 5 straight run by Weston. The southpaw drops it. Rancourt for Simpson. Returned. Rancourt. D'Oliveira drops one. Goes high. Set up on the left side. A drop shot there. And it's a point. So instead of slamming it that time, Wilkins goes the drop shot and she scores it. Sixth straight run by Weston. Almost the 7th one. Rancourt. Milani, she drops it in with a tall leap. Hawks down by 4, 13-9. A 6-point run. They've had a 4 and a 6. Bellingham has only had a 3 in this game. The Hawks down by 4 here, and this is Mia Milani serving. It's going to go over, and it's going to be tipped there by Nolan. Returned. Now they got to get it over from the back line again. It's usually danger. It's Simpson. She drops it. It's returned by Weston, and they send it again. Tipped at the line by Simpson. This is Nolan. She slams it home. The Hawks with 2 straight. They're down by 3, 13-10. They're down by 5 a moment ago. Serving again will be Mia Milani, the very talented junior for Bellingham, junior captain. Dickey into the net. That's 4 hits. The Hawks have 3 straight. They're down 13-11. Mia Milani. She was injured, missed a couple of late season matchups to close out the regular season. She was back for the playoffs. Coach says she's in fine shape. No injury. And that's Dickey. That's a point. It's back to a 3-point lead. She's been outstanding. Coach was right on when he said, watch for Ellie Wilkins. Dickey is a fairly good player too, but that was Wilkins. And serving will be Riley Hummel, 14-11, Weston with the lead. Soto for Rancourt for Simpson. And the athletic sophomore pumps it home. Hawks down by 2, 14-12. Simpson comes out and Aubrey Callery comes in. Callery's had a great game. Great night, I should say. Here is Sophia Soto serving. Hawks down by 2. Sophia. And that is in. An ace for Sophia Soto. 14-13. Weston elected to let it go and it fell in bounds. Referee R1 up top. Glenn Corwin had a good look at it. Here's Soto into the net, and that's going over. Nice play there. Beautiful play by Flo Bengali. Slammed high and deep, and that's out of bounds. It's a 2-point lead. 15-13 for Weston. Bengali made that play for the Wildcats. And she's congratulated by her teammates. Now serving Ellie Wilkins. 15-13. Weston with the lead and the ball. Into the net. A rare unforced error there. Hawks down by 1, 15-14. 3 ties in this game, 1 lead change. But Weston has led for quite a few points now. D'Oliveira into the net. And that's a 2-point lead. 16-14 for Weston. And serving will be their libero, Ainsley Fatchner. She comes up and drills it. Nolan for Houston for a hawk, but it's to no avail. Making the play at the line was Kearney Dickey, a 3-point lead, 17-14. Weston with the lead, trying to get a win here. Fatchner, deep, Milani for Houston, for Calorie. Her fine night continues, 17-15. Hawks down by 2. Val Nolan will serve for Bellingham. We're in the third set. The Hawks took the first 2, but this is close like the first set was. Nolan high over everything there up top in the rafters. Coming back for it. This is Houston for Mia Milani. She slams it down, and it's a 1-point game, 17-16. Beautiful setup by Bellingham. Their setter's been great. Jacoby Houston, outstanding. And Milani looking for the tie now for Bellingham. Nice return there by Soto. Milani drops it back. High ball there. Slam return by Soto for Houston. For Calorie. She sends it to the back line. And that is out, and we have a tie game. We're tied at 17. The 4th tie of this game. Only 1 lead change. If the Hawks get a point here, it'll be the 2nd lead change of the game. They led early, but then Weston has led for the last 10 or 12 points. Soto comes in, Houston. This is Mia Milani. Her drop shot is in. Oh, did she pick a spot to give the Hawks a lead at 18-17. 2nd lead change of the game. Here's Nolan. Hawks by 1. Val delivers it. Returned. Back on the left side. It's returned beautifully by Nolan. The setup from Milani. She slams it. It's returned high off the rafters. Bouncing around up there. It comes down. Weston has to get it over. They do to Soto. Calorie. What a volley. And it's returned by Soto. Milani gets it back. It's good. What a volley here. The slam returned, and it's a point for the Hawks. It was out of bounds. She was out of bounds. The Hawks by 2, 19-17. Timeout called by Eileen LeBlanc, the coach of Weston. The Hawks have scored 5 straight to go from down 17-14 to lead at 19-17. That's their largest run of this third set. In the first set, the Hawks had one run of 5. That was their largest. They had a couple of runs of 3 and a run of 4 to close out the game. The second set, Bellingham had a run of 4 and a couple of 3-point runs, and they just kept building the lead. But here, it's been back and forth in the match with 4 ties and 2 lead changes. Bellingham led early, then Weston led, now Bellingham has led. And serving for the Hawks will be Val Nolan, 19-17. Stay tuned for our post-game show and the ceremonies. There'll be a presentation of the Final Four trophy, which means the team will carry it into the Final Four. That shows that they've made the Final Four. Who will it be? We'll see. Nolan serving. And Calorie, she's just had an outstanding night. The Hawks with a 6-point run. A 6-point run. Their largest run of the night. How about that? And it comes at a critical time when they're down 17-14. They lead at 2017. Drop shot. Milani right on it. Set up here for D'Oliveira, and there's a point for the Hawks. They have it by 4, 21-17. This is a Elite 8 game between the number 1 seeded Blackhawks, timeout by Eileen LeBlanc, and the number 9 seeded Weston Wildcats. So Coach LeBlanc, feeling that maybe things are getting away from her team a little bit, gets the timeout. So far, she's speaking to them. First, she gave some players a chance to say something, but the Hawks were trailing at 17-14, and they've run off now 7 straight to go down from 17-14 to up 21-17. Their biggest run of the night. Bellingham looking to get to the Final Four for the 3rd consecutive year. In fact, they're looking to get to the championship game for the 3rd consecutive year, and they're looking to win it for the first time, I think, ever in school history. 21-17 is their lead. After a sit down for the timeout, the Hawks Nest, the student bodies, back on their feet as they are all game long. This is Val Nolan serving, 21-17. Here we go. Nolan gets the whistle and delivers it. It's true. And that's a point for Weston. So they close. It breaks the 7-point run. And they close it to 21-18. Remember, you have to win by 2. And we're in a 25-point game. Serving will be Trini Salgado Mallorca. Dug out by Nolan. She's done that a number of times. That is Milani. Hawks by 4 again, 22-18. Stay tuned for our post-game show. Hope to talk to the players, and the coach will have the presentation of the trophy. Val Nolan continuing. Oh, this is Aubrey Callery. She delivers it. Slam there. It's good. It's a 3-point game, 22-19. Just in. And serving will be Nevaeh Yancey, 22-19. The serve is deep. Nolan. Houston for Milani. Drops one over. Oh, the touch was beautiful. The touch was beautiful by Mia Milani. 23-19. De Oliveira comes in. Houston goes out for Coach Steve Matagani. And serving is the sophomore Alyssa Rancourt. She delivers it true. 3rd hit coming here. It's slammed down. That's a point for the left-hander, Kearney Dickey. 23-20. This is much like the first game when Weston led 20-18. Here they trail at 23-20. The serve. Milani for Rancourt. Simpson, the sophomore, gives the Blackhawks a 4-point lead. It's set and match point coming up. Weston can afford no errors. Mia Milani to try to finish it for the Hawks and move on to the Final Four. This is the talented junior. Mia Milani addresses the ball and delivers it over the net. It's in play. Drop shot. Still saved by De Oliveira. This is Nolan. She slams it for the win. No, they say no. They say she hit the net. No, she hit the net. She hit the net. I beg your pardon. It's a 24-20 game. 24-21. 3-point lead for the Hawks. She hit the net, according to coach, to referee Glenn Corwin, the R1 up top. Serving is Riley Hummel. We still play on. Hummel delivers it. Ticks the net. Soto for Rancourt. Nolan. She slams it off a fingertip. Back in play. The slam there. It's out, and the Hawks win it. 25-21. Into the net. The coach appealing. The player appealing to the referee. And it's all over. It's all over, 25-21. Weston thought that they did not hit the net, but the referee up top said they did, and that's going to do it. The Hawks win it in straight sets, 25-21, 25-15, 25-21. Stay tuned for our post-game show. The Hawks move on to the Final Four. They'll be playing Linfield at a date and time to be announced. We're in our post-game format now, so stay tuned. We hope to have the coach and the presentation and some interviews with some players as the Hawks move on to the Final Four. There's going to be the presentation now. Steve Montagani just grabs the presentation.
You can just say it. Yeah, you can.
The trophy. And he's going to get some assistance here. We see the principal
Maggie's
of Bellingham
take a
here.
for Instagram.
Miss Lafayette, she's here, the school principal, and she's going to pose with this trophy. She's going to present it to the Bellingham High Blackhawks. Weston has left the court. We're in our post-game show. I don't know if the camera is picking up in the far right of the gym the presentation of the trophy. And we're going to be into our post-game format here as the Hawks win it in straight sets. 25-21, 25-15, 25-21. There you see the reaction. It says Final Four, if you can pick that up on camera on the far right. But the Hawks win it. Coach joins us now with some players. Let's bring in the coach here. Coach, come right up. It wasn't easy, but you got the job done. How did you do it?
I think we stayed together as a team. I think the team did well. They've been focused all year. We've got great leadership from our 4 captains, and they just did a great job tonight.
I thought some of the digs by your team were tremendous. It really kept the volleys going. Some great plays back there.
We're very aggressive on the floor. We did a great job with our back row today, and so fled the way.
So you move on to play Linfield. What do we know about Linfield?
Not much. We'll figure it out later. We're going to go celebrate now.
Okay, congratulations, Coach. We'll talk to some players. Sophia Soto, Mia Milani, Jacoby Houston, and Val Nolan. Let's start with you, Libero. What was it like out there for you tonight?
It was very fun, very electric, just good vibes all around.
I thought some of the digs by you, Val Nolan had some great digs, Mia Milani with some acrobatic shots. You guys continue to get it done.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Mia Milani, you had some great spikes, but I liked your defensive play. Some of your saves, tell us about that. I'm sorry, my microphone only can go out so far. What was it like out there for you?
I just think we really leaned on each other, and we used each other's, we just leaned on each other, and I think we've just been using our hard work and practice, and I think it just all came together.
Jacoby Houston, again, you continue to set up your teammates. You did some great job setting it up. You always made sure that third hit was a beauty. How do you do it?
I'm just using the energy from the team and our hunger for the state title.
Yep. And Val Nolan, what's it feel like to be in the Final Four once again?
It feels really good. I think just all our hard work has been paying off, and we still have 2 more games, so we're getting ready for that.
Did they pose any particular challenges here for you tonight, Weston?
Yeah, I definitely think they were scrappy, and the ball just came over in different ways, and we just had to always be prepared.
They had some left-handers, which was a little different look.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Val Nolan, Jacoby Houston, Mia Milani, Sophia Soto, captains, congratulations. We'll see you in the Final Four.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's going to do it. So there you have it. The Bellingham High Blackhawks and captains join us in our post-game show, and we're going to wrap it up and say the Hawks will play next at a date and time to be released probably in a couple of days. We know it's Linfield, and we hope to cover it for you here on ABMI. I'd like to thank our producer here working remote is Tyler James. This is Pete Royce saying goodnight from the Hawks Nest. The final scores tonight as Bellingham moves on to the Final Four, 25-21, 25-15, 25-21 over West. Until next time, so long, neighbors.